This is the Marketing Pulpit Show. I'm Robert Gatewood, your host, and we are here every Friday at 10:30 a.m. bringing you the good marketing gospel. We're not saving souls, we're saving businesses, saving jobs, saving our community. We're going to talk about technology today. And I want to ask you, is that technology window closing for your company? And are you going to that point of no return? Now, a few years ago, I was a consultant with the Department of Labor through a contract with the National Urban League, and I was working on the Mature Worker Program. And my job as a consultant was to help seniors and people who are 60 plus navigate online job applications because it was a problem. All these companies now, you don't sit down and go in the back room and give you a little pencil and a clipboard anymore. They say go to the website. And so that was a problem. And so the National Urban League had a contract with the Department of Labor through this program called the Mature Worker Program. And I was brought in as a consultant to help formulate some solutions to tackle that problem. A few years after that, I was working with the nonprofit Holla under another Department of Labor initiative called the YCC. This program was initiated under the Obama administration, and it was to steer young people into the STEM-based programs and professions, science, technology, engineering, and math. And I went down to North Carolina, and there was an initiative going on down there. Now, we're beyond the point of discussing whether technology is necessary or not. That ship has already sailed. So if you're already out there debating that, then you got some serious catching up to do. And as a business owner, you have to realize you cannot escape technology. You just can't. I don't care what you're doing. You could be a roofer, a butcher, a baker, a candlestick maker. You are in the technology. It's going to be into you one way or the other. So you can't escape it, okay? But you shouldn't want to. Because believe it or not, for business owners, you have a unique advantage for people who are not necessarily business owners, that you are forced into technology. You're forced to learn certain things, whereas people that are working on a certain job, they may not ever get a chance or any requirement. If that job that they're working on from 9 to 5 does not touch technology, then they're not forced to. But if you're a business owner, you cannot escape it. So you have an advantage of some people, because the one of the responsibilities of business ownership is that you have to come into the world of technology, whether you like it or not. And it's going to invade your space regardless of your industry. Now, what people may not realize is that the technology is really not about you. And I think that's a mistake some people make. It's like, well, I don't care about technology. I'm just a car dealership, or I'm just a lawn guy. But what about your clients, your stakeholders? How do they communicate with you? How do they get their services from you? How do they learn about your marketing? In many cases, it involves technology. So you have to step outside yourself when you're talking and discussing technology. It's not about your prowess or your fondness of it or disdain for it. You have to think about your clients. And I've said this, and I'll say it 100 more times. Whenever you get lost along the way in anything related to marketing, think about your audience. And if you're dealing with a young audience, 18 to 25 or 35 to 54 demographic, you better have some technology in place. It's never too late to learn if you're willing to learn and listen. You're never too old to learn. You're never too young to teach. I've been saying that for many years now. And the funny thing about technology is that a lot of many small companies feel like they can't afford to do what's necessary. But just because you can't afford it doesn't make it any less important. There are certain things in society that not being able to afford it is not a good enough excuse. You just have to find a way to afford it. You can't just say, well, I can't afford an IT guy. I can't afford a web guy. I can't afford any network. Well, it depends on your business and your business model and your audience. Maybe you didn't write your business plan well. You didn't think that whole thing through. I'm telling you right now, you have an opportunity to right the ship, if you would just listen to some of the things I'm going to share with you today. Let's talk about this a little bit more. What's the solution? Well, let's learn. There's a Bible verse, and I'm not going to try to be my dad here. I think it's Matthew chapter 7, verse 7. Seek and you shall find. Knock and the door will be open to you. In other words, let's not write technology off. Let's go out here and learn it. Now, how do we survive in this technology-driven economy? Well, number one, get a basic understanding of technology. How it affects your company, how it affects your job, how it affects your stakeholders. Think about your stakeholders, clients, vendors, suppliers, staff, contractors, partners, joint venturers, funders, the community. And think about, do you have the tools to effectively navigate with your stakeholders? One thing about technology, if you get technology under your belt, you will make more money. I'll tell you a little story. When I started working with the Small Business Administration as a consultant, I thought they wanted me for my marketing abilities. I'm like, man, they knocking on my door. I'm the master marketer. I tell you something, they didn't give a hoot about that. They said, you know, technology. I had a little one line on my resume, or my VT, or my bio, whatever you want to call it. We want that right there. And that's when the wallet fell open. They didn't give a hoot about my marketing expertise, or that I've been doing it for 30 years. They saw that little line that said, this guy is an egghead. He knows technology. And that's when the money started to flow. So that's enough. If nothing else sobers you up, you better get out here and make some of this money. And there's always money out there for technology, I'm telling you. And there's job security. So you can find this information. You can do self-study, group study, do community colleges. So the information is out there to get that basic understanding. Now, if you really want to get some bank, you might get certified in certain professions related to technology. You get boot camp courses, you can online courses, hands-on labs. You can start making some of this money by getting certification. And that's when you really start to get the bank. Like Amazon Web Services, that's a certification. Cisco, Google Cloud, Microsoft, they offer certification programs in the technology field. And so some of you have been out here kicking around in these various industries, and you're like, man, every time I turn around, the darn thing is obsolete. They're closing up. They're laying off. You got to get in something a little more technologically based. I'm just going to tell you. Or you may have to introduce some technology to what you're already doing. Now, you don't have to be like an egghead like me or some of the other folks. You can do low-level tech stuff, like become in the web services. You don't have to be a certified. It helps if you get some certification, but a lot of this stuff you can do some self-study, web design, social media experts. Those are technological-based industries, and the threshold is not quite as high. So there are ways you can get into this industry without having to go back and get a 4-year degree. If you can't beat them, join them. So some people, look, you're just not built to be a technological person. So how are you going to take advantage of this technology? Well, you can become a reseller. Let somebody else do all the work. Use your influence. Use your marketing, your database, and resell other people's technology services. So you can still benefit without being a technological person. You can white label. You can do. You can become like a little mini Walmart and sell these technology services through your own label, but not necessarily doing the technological work. That way you can still take advantage of technology without becoming a technological egghead. And you also want to think about this. How can you technology-proof your job? Some of y'all have jobs, and you're like, man, is technology going to come along and knock me out one day? Possibly. Well, this is once again where that technology background is going to save you. You could be an attorney. You could be a floor sweeper. You could be an auto mechanic. The person with the technological background has a better chance, has a longer life in security, better job security than the one who doesn't. So if the industry is not a technological job, then you can make it so. And so you can start technology proofing your job, your profession, your occupation. So this is some ways that you can have technology to work in your favor. Now, let me wrap this up, put a bow on it. Technology is not going anywhere. It's here to stay. If you are looking for an industry where you can make some money and make an impression, then don't write off technology. If you're a business owner and you're trying to elevate your company, if you're trying to build a foundation, if you're trying not to become obsolete, embrace technology. If you are a worker, you're trying to ensure your job security, if you're trying to not be shown the door every time there's a cutback, you want to make yourself indispensable, then embrace technology. Folks, that's going to wrap it up for today. This is the Marketing Pulpit Show. I'm Robert Gatewood.